Aloha everyone. Today is October 6th, 2023. Yeah, we haven't been filmed for almost a whole month because we felt a little bit shy and then in front of camera sometimes we're getting a little bit nervous. So, yeah. But when I went to LA for Pastor Paul's visit, some of the members there, she said that she's using our video to one of the English-speaking person who is interested in knowing the gospel. So that's the reason that motivates me, even though we do not want to film. We're a little bit nervous, but what we are discussing and what we are sharing at the Fireside chat, if it can help someone else to getting to know God and getting to know come to the gospel, and that's our goal. That's the reason we decided to start recording our Fireside chat, and then we're going to share it with the people who are interested in the gospel. Today we do not have any topic, but we just want to have a general discussion that after Pastor Paul's visit, what kind of thing we learned and what kind of things we, that got impression, and then what kind of grace of salvation we got. We can share 100%. A little bit, and then we can follow the Spirit, the guidance of the Spirit. So.
I realized that I've been the first son, my entire life, and that I was dead spiritually, and I was always searching and seeking, but not fully understanding, and I always thought it was like I had to do something, but Paul and Pastor Paul, they really helped me to gain a better understanding and insight of not only what it means to be the second son, and there were all second sons, but a better understanding of grace, and that it's not about us at all. It's nothing that we can do.
Yeah.
After hearing Pastor Paul's message and then having that second discussion, and then just spending these Saturdays with Paul, I really, and again, it's not even me. I just suddenly came to understand. It was almost kind of like a lightning bolt hit me, and it made me realize that God had a plan the entire time. He was watching over me. He was watching over everything, and he was just waiting for me to come to Him and realize. So, I'm excited.
Yes, that's a very important the message that Jason just got from the Pastor Paul's last month visit. I think it took me to realize the importance of the difference between gospel and the religion. It took me, I think, more than 3 or 4 years. So in the beginning I couldn't understand, but the more I, listen to Pastor Paul's message, that I could understand. Same like we talk about the story of Joseph in sold to Egypt. That Jacob has 12 sons, and the 11th son was Joseph, and then the father loved Joseph too much. And then it created jealousy among Joseph's older brothers. So the older brothers, tried to kill him, but they decided not to kill, but to sell him to the foreign land, which is Egypt, from Israel to Egypt. So he was sold like if you compare it to our days, he was sold from Hawaii to the New York. So he was totally separated from his, the family, and then he was totally dependent on our Heavenly Father. So he was sold as a slave, and then he went through a lot of things. And then Joseph didn't do anything for that process, but God already worked with him since the day he was born, and then finally he became the prime minister of Egypt.
Yes.
You know, at the time, Egypt was like America nowadays. In the world organization, Egypt was the richest and then powerful nation, and he became the prime minister of Egypt.
Yes.
And then he saved his family, and he saved a lot of people by the given grace from God, not from his own, thinking and his own effort. But that's what we learn from Pastor Paul's visit this time. I'm glad Jason got that kind of grace. Pastor Paul talking about the parable of first son and second son. And then he elaborated this time more with more details. So like a second son, he got all the inheritance from his father. And then he went to the far distant land. He wasted all the money. And then finally he was working for the farmer who has the swine, farm. And then the owner gave him a job to help the swine, to raise the swine, the pigs. But down the road, he didn't have enough food. That he was eating the food the pig is eating, and then even that food was not enough. So he was starving to death. And then at that moment, the grace of salvation from God came to him, and then he came to his senses. The thought came to him, oh my goodness, if I go back to my father's home, even servants has enough food. What do I do here? So he didn't do anything to return to his father, but God gave him his grace. So he decided, he just followed the grace, and then he returned to his father. And then the father was waiting for him almost every day since he left. And he went up to the higher hill until the sun set. He's watching over when my son is coming back, and then finally he saw his son is coming back. So he ran fast to him, and then he gave him a hug, and I gave him a kiss, and took him into the house. And then he changed his whole clothes with the new clothing, and then I give him a ring, and then give him the shoes, and then he killed the most fat, the calf, and then he provided a big feast, like better than Hawaiian luau. So he welcomed him back, even though he wasted all that kind of thing. That's the grace. That's the essence of the gospel. The second son didn't do anything. He just got the grace from God. Oh my goodness, I need to return to my father. Then everything will be okay. Even servants doing good, and then and then when Pastor Paul said, when he returned to his father, that we need to be very careful to remember how the second son's mindset. So he already told his father, when he met, the father was 150% welcoming back, but the son was thinking, father, he told father, I'm no longer your son. I commit the sin for you and then for the Father in heaven. I'm considering myself as a servant. And then father was thinking him, welcoming him back as a son, but the second son, consider him as the servant. That's the right attitude
Yes.
for the people who accept the gospel. You know, that he already remembered that he was a sinner of the sinners,
Yeah.
the second son.
Yeah.
He realized it.
Yes.
He committed a big sin to his father, not only his physical father, but also the spiritual father in heaven. So with that mindset, he came back home, okay? And then Pastor Paul mentioned about first son. And he's teaching us the very, very important principle. The first son was physically with his father. And then many, many years he was with his father. And then many, many years the father gave him some assignment. He never neglect that assignment. Faithful. He did everything perfectly, but for what the father asked him to do. And then the one day he came back from his the farm, and close to the house. And then it's not normal. So there was a very, the lots of noise, and sometimes you can hear the music, and then, people they're doing dancing, and then, the shouting, and then he hear that voice. Hear the noise, and he called one of his servant. And the person asked him, "What's going on here?" And then the servant talked to our first son.
Yeah.
Your brother came back, and then your father providing a big party with the live band, and then dancing groups, and then lots of good food, and the new clothing and new shoes, and even give the ring, meaning he gave some promise. The ring means a covenant and promise.
Yeah.
So after he heard from his servant, the first son was really, really mad. Why he was mad? Because I was many, many years with his father, and then I did all the assignment, and then faithfully.
Yeah.
Look at my brother.
Yeah.
He took all the money, went out to the strange land. He wasted all the money with the horse, and then all that kind of thing. And then he came back, and the father gave him a party, killing a very fat calves. He didn't even provide me any party for many, many years. I was faithful to him.
Yeah.
Why? And he was reluctant to getting into the house to join the party with his brother and his father. And then the father became to know the first son didn't want to come in, so father went out.
Yes.
Son, why you are not happy? That your brother was lost, and then we found him. And we need to be happy and then merry about it.
Yeah.
Father, you didn't give me any, even for my friends, you didn't provide me any party, but he was that bad brother, he took all the money from you and then wasted all the money. Why are you providing the party?
Yeah.
And then father told first son, all I have, all I possess, what I have is yours. Okay? That your brother lost everything and he came back. And then we welcome him. So today is a happy day, happiest day. But the first son didn't understand.
Yeah.
And he didn't join the happy occasion with his father.
Yes.
So what that means, the first son, where's my leg? The first son, physically he was with his father, but spiritually and mentally, he was not with his father. So the Pastor Paul said, this first son is more dangerous, more serious from the God's perspective than the second son. So he gave us a very important principle. The the process of second sons returning to his father is representing the true meaning of the gospel.
Yes. Yes.
And then the first son, that we just described it, he was with his father many, many years, and then faithful in keeping all the fulfilling all the assignment. And that's that representing the religion. So he was teaching us the first son's situation is the problem of the current church, problem of the church members who already thought they got saved, and then they were faithful in paying tithing and all the church activity and then services, and still they do not know God's, our Father's, the true, the principle. So Pastor Paul's visit this time, I heard that the principle many times, but he gave more insight. He compared with the Israelites, their history, and then this parable, the second son and first son. I never thought about that the history of the Israelites are relating to the first and second son's parable. So that if you look at the history of the Israelites, God chose them.
Yeah, exactly.
They were loved by God, chosen people.
Yeah.
But it's the same like a second son. They getting more away from God, and then they didn't follow all that kind of thing, and then they became the slave to Egyptian, the kingdom.
Yes.
460 years. They went through long suffering.
Yes.
And finally, they realized that through the suffering, they got the grace. So they need to ask to God to deliver it from the situation. So God promised them to deliver them from Egyptian bondage. He selected the prophet Moses, and then all the miracles happened, and then the Red Sea was parted, and then they got delivered. So that's the second son's the portion. Once they got out of the bondage from Egyptian bondage, with a lot of miracles daily, God sent the brimstone of the cloud and brimstone of fire. So they saw that kind of all daily signs. Yes. And then after they got totally 100% delivered from Egyptian bondage during the wilderness time, they are forgetting God's the mercy. Yes. They forgetting God's the grace. So they worship the golden calf, and they doing a lot of bad stuff in front of God, and then they even want to kill Moses, during the wilderness. Now, the Pastor Paul said, from the Red Sea to the Promised Land, if you go straight without stopping, it's 7 days journey. But God made them wandered for 40 years in the wilderness to get rid of that the first sons, the nature. Get rid of the first son's nature. So that religious part, need to get rid of it, and we need to be totally depending on grace, not our own effort, our own ability, our own the thinking. Yes. Totally depending on God's grace. Yes. That's like I say, same like a second son. So that my blessing from Pastor Paul's visit was the getting more deeper understanding about the difference between gospel and religion. Yes, absolutely. So there was, from 2007 and 8, I start listening to Pastor Paul's, the message, and as I look back, that is the blessing. If I did not understand this, I was probably still wandering in the wilderness. But
That's true.
every day, try to have the spirit of the second son.
Yeah.
So we do not have anything to boast.
No.
We do not have anything, but everything is dependent on His grace. But we are human beings.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget.
Yeah.
Same like the Israelites.
Sure. Absolutely.
They saw that all the kind of miracles and all the graces, and then even brimstone of fire. They saw it. They forgetting God's mercy.
They do. Yeah.
So that's us.
Yes.
That's us. So
Yeah.
the great teaching from Paul, Pastor Paul,
Yeah.
was he told us during the meeting this time last month. He said he's talking about Israelites. He couldn't understand why Israelites. They saw all the kind of miracles, and then they forget God like this.
Yeah.
They saw that the Red Sea was parted.
Yeah.
And he said, if I were there, if I saw that kind of miracle, I would never, until I die, I'd never forget. He thought that way, but later on when he got the grace from God, oh, that was really me.
Yes. 100%.
That's the reason I keep listening to his message. That's us. Even Peter, he tried to follow Jesus. He left his job, his family, and followed Jesus. And then Jesus, the one time praised him, and the one time he condemned him. And then at the Last Supper, he said, Peter, you're going to deny me 3 times.
Yeah.
And then I thought I would never deny Jesus. But Pastor Paul said, that's us. We are all like Paul. We are all like Israelites. We are all like a second son. So that, to realize that fact, that was us, make us a real, in a true sense, humble.
Yes.
Real humble. We usually say humble before God.
Yeah.
That's what that means. Not humble before man, but humble before God means we need to have that kind of second son's mindset.
Yeah.
And then the Peter's.
Yeah, everything you said is just so true. And to be honest, when I first heard Pastor Paul's message that day that we were at Soda Bowl, yeah, and then we came back for the question and answer and had a longer time with him at Soda Bowl, it was 2 days later or something. I understood the message and I asked a lot of questions. And after that, Pastor Paul went to the mainland. He went around and
Came back.
And he came back. And it wasn't until he actually came back and we had that one-on-one session with him in the hotel, and that I started to really understand what the meaning of grace is, and that it's nothing that we can do.
No.
I've never been this humbled and broken, and just surrendering to God, because I've spent all my life. I spent a lot of years trying to discipline myself, meditation, martial arts, all kinds of things, to become a better version of myself. And even bad habits drinking or whatever it is. I got sick not that long ago. I was sick for 9 months. I didn't drink, and I just was recovering from this illness. And then when I got healthy again and started to work again, I would have a drink occasionally. But it wasn't until I got myself out of the way and realized by ourselves as men, we only have a certain amount of ability, faculties, and there's nothing that we can do. I didn't understand this message. My whole life I didn't understand it, and I thought in the back of my mind, I always said to myself, it is about God. but I still didn't understand it. You know, so like I get all choked up now when I talk about this because I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful because you guys, this whole thing, you know, it's really like saved my life. You know, it saved my I don't know. I can't even describe it, but
Yeah.
it's a blessing
Yeah.
to understand that.
You feel like you totally move the personal state to the totally different world.
Yes.
Yeah, different world of thinking, different world of.
And I couldn't have done it by myself because I've been trying. I've been trying really, really hard on my own, and I always thought to myself, I can do it. I can do it.
That's first son.
And that's totally the first son. And so you know, if this message helps anyone out there, I've been trying to share this message with people, and I didn't get it for 51 years. So it's really like when in God's time, when He's ready, if He has a plan for that individual, He'll, you know, hopefully this touches people's lives and helps in some way, because I know that Pastor Paul, and it's been a huge help. So I'm very, very grateful, and thank you so much. And
Okay.
you know, anything we can do to help people, that's what we want to be able to do. So.
Talking about, so you did your best, and then all the kind of your personal development.
Yeah.
I want to share with you, if you look at the Apostle Paul,
Yeah.
he was like you. He graduated from the best school at the time. He was a Pharisee, meaning out of Jewish, you know, the tribes, the Pharisees has a best education, best family, best, you know, the kind of elite from at the time. And then he has a lots of knowledge about the Bible and the scriptures at the time. Not only that spiritual knowledge, but also secular knowledge, all the schools and that kind of thing. And then he was the one who tried to kill the Christians.
Oh yeah, right.
He was the one.
Yeah. Remember that.
You know, he didn't believe in Jesus, and then he was Jewish, the strongest Jewish section, Pharisees. And he tried to kill all the Christians who believe in Jesus. Huh?
Yeah.
On the way to Damascus, I don't know in English, that Damascus, you know, on the horseback, riding on a horseback, and then Jesus appeared to him through the like a thunderbolt light, and he became blind for 3 or 4 days. During that time, he lost his conscience, and then the spiritual conversion started it. So after that, he converted to Christian.
Yeah.
So he went through same thing. He didn't do anything. God visited him, and he got the grace. And then if you study really, really carefully all the epistles, he became the greatest missionary in the history of the all Christian history. He is number one because
he was against them, and he
because
God.
he totally converted to gospel,
Yes.
but God did not ignore his past experience. His past experience can be used to prove the gospel.
Powerful. That's so powerful. That's the God.
That's
the
what God is
atheists that
using.
become- yeah.
So
Wow.
don't worry about your the past history.
Yeah.
But if you do not go through this, you usually call it death of cross.
Oh,
Yeah?
okay, yeah.
So you need to turn around from this world to the God's world through the death of cross.
Yeah.
If you turn around, all the past experience
Yes.
will be renewed and then changed for the taste to the God,
And to help
to help
people, yeah.
help people to understand gospel.
Yeah, because I was the guy. I always said, "Oh no, I know,
Yeah.
and then I realized it's like, you're nothing without God. You're nothing. You're like, it's if this can help somebody, then
Yeah, that's
positive.
real.
Yeah, real positive. So.
That would be really blessing for you and for many people. So if you read, I cannot find it right now, but the Apostle Paul said, "I'll take all the things for his the great education, and his family background, his knowledge in the God, not only the secular knowledge but also spiritual knowledge. He will consider it as a dung." He said that use the dung.
Dung.
Only thing, the knowledge of Jesus and our living God is the only
that matters.
only the matter.
It's only thing that matters.
He testified. But that kind of testimony,
Yeah.
he got a lot of accumulation of that kind of secular thing, and then he testified to all the people. And then that helps the people understand this guy is a very, like a first son, but he became really humble. Why? What makes him really humble?
It's the blood of the Lamb, man.
Yeah.
It's grace.
So,
Not me, that's for sure. I know myself.
so that
I'm not a spring chicken. I've been 51 years on this earth and didn't get it.
Yeah. So even the Abraham, he got it when he was 7 years old.
Yeah.
51, still young. Okay.
Yeah,
So God has some plan for you, and then He has some plan for me too.
Yeah. We have we want to do something great for God,
Yeah. So every day, we become like going back and forth. The first son and second son go back and forth. It's repeating every day, every moment. But the difference between the month before, so you already know the principle of gospel and religion.
Yeah. It's such a
So
change
once you realize it, I went through almost 10 years, huh?
Yeah.
And then for Pastor Paul, he mentioned about Genesis chapter 3 and 5. That means serpent, God already told Adam and Eve, don't eat that fruit of the forbidden fruit. That is forbidden.
Yeah.
And then serpent came to him. No, you're not going to die. You shall not die. If you eat the fruit, you will become like God.
The devil, guys.
Yeah, you will become like God. And your eye will be open. You will be like God. And then Adam and Eve was tempted, and then, I'll become like God. So he took it, huh? So they become like God. There's a curse of the curses.
Curse, so that's the worst possible.
Yes, we are not God,
We're not.
and then we became God. So we judge other people. We the curse of other people, condemn God and condemn other people.
Yeah.
There's a curse of the cursed.
That's the worst. Yes.
So that's what I applied that one since I got that message, through the grace. 30 years of my life in Mormonism, I was acting like God, So that's a true repentance. Actually, I did not try to repent, but that thought came to me. I act like God, and then that was happening for 30 years in my life. Then when I do the business, I treat all the workers like that. But I didn't treat them like before. So like some people, Kurt has some problem with the family problem. Someone has a drug problem. That I didn't judge them. I didn't condemn them because I was same like them. So I tried the grace from God have me change to embrace them instead of no. That's not me.
Yeah.
I try to. I didn't try to embrace them, but that the message, that the grace, had me to embrace them.
Yes.
So I treat my all the business life since North Shore Beach Bus was created. Every day, every morning, I go out to the yard, 5:30. I took it as a church. I didn't tell anybody, but I'm receiving grace from Pastor Paul every day.
Yes.
And then sometimes I repent. Oh, this was too much, so I lost my, I became into the first son's territory. And then grace came to me, Paul, you already did it. So that helped me.
Yeah.
But we should not be confused.
Yeah.
Because we are nothing, because what we have done in the past will be, but once we cross the death of cross,
Yes.
Once our world became to the new world, the God's world, then all the past, the experience will be used for His purpose.
So powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't worry.
Yeah.
That Pastor Paul talked to everybody a long time ago. He said, because he is sharing his personal experience. He thought he was a best Christian and best pastor, huh?
Yeah.
And one day he realized it. Oh, I thought I knew God and Jesus, but I didn't know Him. So it's a grace.
So true.
Yeah?
So
I didn't know Him. And
So
then
true.
after that, the realization, he became really powerless. And then every day, his life is really meaningless. And then he felt like that way. Then he gave us a warning. You're going to go through same thing that I went through.
Yeah.
You're going through that stage.
Yeah, I feel that.
But
yeah.
this morning I shared with you Apostle Paul.
Yeah.
After he turned around, not by himself, but his involvement, and then turned around all his past. Look at all that around 17 the books in New Testament written by Apostle Paul.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Is
That's true.
still,
Yeah.
that teaching the true gospel
It's powerful.
through many, many, many centuries, forever.
Yeah. Very powerful.
See?
Very powerful.
So then we need to go through that stage. I went through the long time ago, like I become really powerless, I'm nothing. And then that kind of, continue. I'm like Pastor Paul said, I thought I will never be like Israel.
Yes.
They saw the miracles, and then God showed them all the different signs, but all of a sudden they forget God. He thought he will never do that, but he realized that's me.
Yes.
That was me. And then Peter denied 3 times, and then Pastor Paul said, I will never deny him. I was with him for 3 years. I saw he performed the miracles, and then he raised up the people, and then the blind people opened their eyes. How can I deny him? But Jesus said, Peter, you will deny me 3 times tonight.
Yeah. What's so powerful, I was thinking about this, is that God gave Pastor Paul the grace. When you needed him, God put Pastor Paul in your life.
Yes.
Then I met you, and then I got sick, and I was so depressed, and I didn't know what to do, and I felt that God was talking to me, and one day He told me, reach out to Paul, reach out to him, and I don't know why I got that message, and then I reached out to you, and then you shared with me Pastor Paul, and it changed my life, and I think God has a plan. I mean,
Yes.
Of course, God has a plan, and
Yeah, definitely.
we can help a lot of people. So
Yes. So when I talk to Army of Love, I know they didn't have a chance to listen to this.
Yes.
This message is not from Pastor Paul. He went through a lot of process, and then God told him,
Yeah.
He doesn't teach us because of his knowledge. He studied. So every day, God gave him the grace. The same like he thought he was the best pastor and the best Christian. And one day he realized, oh, I thought I knew God and Jesus, but I didn't know him.
Yeah.
That's the start of his really first step to be a real Christian. Getting into the gospel.
It's so powerful.
From religion to the gospel.
Yeah.
His world is totally changed to the totally different world, the gospel world. So when he talk about the immigration thing,
Yeah.
we fill up our own paper and then go to the immigration
I love that
office.
analogy.
Immigration
So
office, and then
powerful.
here's a paper. What is this? You create your own stamp? Who are you?
Yes.
The first document, you need to be prison. I need to take you into the prison. That's what Jesus said.
Yeah.
You said, Lord, Lord, Lord. And then I use your name to cast out the devil and then perform the miracles. I preached the gospel with your name, and then I did a lot of good things for you. Then Jesus looked at him. Who are you? I cannot remember you.
I love this analogy. So true, man.
So that the Pastor Paul, he doesn't look like a pastor, really, outwardly. But his message
So powerful.
is so powerful, and then it's changing the people. And then I think God gave us be connected with the Army of Love, because that's a huge organization. If God is changing that organization through this the gospel, not religion,
Yes.
they do not know this.
Yes.
They are doing their best.
Yes.
And then they, compared to other organizations, they are doing really good.
Yeah.
But if they truly understand this principle, it's not by them, it's
Yes.
He is doing it.
Exactly. I think that trip to California when you found that In and Out.
Oh,
right?
wow.
That's God has a plan, man. It's
I didn't even plan.
God and grace is real, guys. I just can't even explain it. It's real, and the devil. There's this spiritual war going on in the world. People just don't see it, but the devil wants you to lose hope. He wants you to think that these things are good, because it comes from man, and he wants us to believe that these fake artificial things are going to satisfy us, and then we end up being empty and disappointed and never satisfied. We'll never be satisfied without God's grace. Never.
Yeah.
We're going to search forever, and all the devil's going to do is keep leading us and chasing our own tail, and we're never going to get anywhere. And it wasn't until these events happened and changed my life forever, man. I'm so grateful.
Good.
So.
Yes. So that the second meeting with the Pastor Paul at the Saraball,
Yeah.
he mentioned really important thing too. Satan's greatest strategy is not the people recognize. He's just hiding that the gospel.
Yeah, exactly.
His best strategy is that religion is the best thing that you can worship him.
Yes.
He is trying to hide the gospel thing, principle.
He just wants everybody to be a first son.
Yes.
Yeah?
The first son is the perfect for you. Don't go to the second son. That's Satan's strategy.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense.
Don't do like a
Yeah.
second son. Just the first son is the perfect for you. That's Satan's strategy. So not many people know this. So you and I, just getting this grace is the blessed.
It's all
Yeah.
grace.
So
grace.
the far more blessed than making a couple $1 billion. Okay.
Yes, man.
So this little thing will change. So that's the thing that I can forward it to you. I wrote when I was in California, when I was with Pastor Paul, one morning I woke up and then a lot of thought came into me. One of them was, I share with you briefly. Abraham was called by God when he was 7 years old. Okay, I will leave your leave your relatives, leave your hometown, and then I'll direct you to the promised land. When he was 7 years old.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And when he arrived at the promised land, through that 20 or 30 years, I don't know exact years, 20 or 30 years long, the process.
Yeah.
He is changing from religion to gospel, and then finally he got that true gospel. Huh?
Yes.
So he, with that eye, he went into the promised land. He didn't, if it is really promised land, and then that's the exact city they expected.
Yeah.
He's gonna build up the castle and then build up the palace. But he put up the tent with his the 12 sons. I mean the sons.
Yeah.
Put up the tent. What that means in I can share with you details later, but what that means, that's a temporary, the promised land. Real promised land is there.
And in our hearts, yeah?
Yeah, in the heart. Real promised land. So he is saying in that the Hebrew chapter, I have that in my writing.
Yeah.
It's like God built the city. So he went into the promised land. God led us to there, but to get there, 30 years disciplining to become, going through the spiritual process, he learned the lesson. God need to have a city of God.
Yes. Yeah.
So, to get into that city of God built, we need to be built upon Him first.
Absolutely.
Our family need to be built upon Him.
Yeah.
And then our company need to be built upon Him. And the neighbors need to be built upon Him. And then we can go to...
I don't know what it was, but I had this inspiration that I met that, when we had this church service this past Sunday, we went outstairs and we ate with everybody.
Yes.
And I met the woman's husband, and he shared in that sharing time, and he was talking about how, he's a good person, but he doesn't necessarily consider himself Christian. I thought to myself, wow, I can totally relate to this person, because the devil wants us to think that if we're good people, we have a relationship with God, and we don't. It's a whole difference between being a good person and being broken, and like you said, crossing over and receiving that grace. And it's that this is you and this is God.
Yeah.
And there's joy. There's this feeling like you're reborn, and
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I'm inspired to share it with this guy, because he could be a powerful, if it's God's plan, if that's what God wants, and because there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
They're good people, but
So same like you, Pastor Paul already went through, huh?
yeah.
So when he got that grace, he was so happy. So he want to share with everybody.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. You want to
Trying
share?
to conquer the world with this. What I have grace. Oh, God, thank you. He said it doesn't happen that way.
It's all up to you.
He will do it.
His
Not
time.
me.
His time.
Not me, but God will do it.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Paul. So God will work through you, but
Yes.
it doesn't happen that way. He already went through in China.
Oh yeah.
He did it. He went through a lot of trials and errors,
Oh
huh?
yeah. Oh, that.
So that's his message came from out of his trials and errors, and then God, like more than 40 years in wilderness life.
Yeah.
We are going through too.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I told you, don't talk to any of our workers, okay?
Yes.
That's not the way to do it,
Now I understand.
Yeah, that's not the
Now
way.
I understand.
Yeah.
After that session with Pastor Paul, and now I understand. It's not me, guys. It has nothing to do with us.
So one night you group text, you share that one.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not you. It's not you.
Now
It's
I
his timing.
understand. I now understand. Oh my God.
Upon his time plan.
Yeah.
Same like a sandbar.
Yeah.
I gave a lot of thought, almost 10 years.
Yeah. Right.
And then it's happening right now.
Yeah. But it's because it's God's timing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then at the time, I was the only one thinking about it. Right now, I have 4 people, including me.
We're all thinking about it. Yeah. Now. Yeah.
Well, if it is a God's plan,
Yes.
it'll have an
That's
impact.
powerful. That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So you do not have to publish yourself.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, yes.
Just,
Absolutely. I get it now.
people see it.
Yeah, they see it.
People
Exactly.
see it.
Yeah.
What is that? What is it? What makes you change it? Share with me. They will come at you. Don't go out and do.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Okay?
That makes sense.
That's how
Thank you. Yeah, I'm one of those newbie Christians. It's like the newbie salesperson just vomiting on everybody.
I know.
Oh, no.
I know. And then thousands of people, and then paying tithing, and then he become a millionaire, and then go out and then buy the Lamborghini, and then that's religion.
Yes, 100%.
So the fruit of Pastor Paul's ministry, I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, you recognize it,
only
man.
2 people living in Calgary. He go there, huh?
Yeah.
He spent around 3 or 4 nights, same like he did at LA. We have around 20 people there. 2 people go up there, and then he spent time.
And it grew.
Because of that, the seed is there, and then it's grow.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's the beginning of our blessing.
It is.
I
I feel like my life has just started.
Yeah.
Because of the grace.
That because you have a great the past intellectual and then secular knowledge and then all that kind of thing will what's the word that one will be used.
Yeah.
Your past experience will not be useless.
Yeah. Exactly. God
But
will
if you
use
don't know this gospel,
it.
you'll be useless.
Yes.
If you know this,
Yeah.
that will have God will shed a light on that.
Yeah. Yes.
And then people will see it.
Yes. Very much
So-
so, Paul. Thank you so
So
much.
that you and me and Pastor Paul went through many months
Yeah.
to get over that thing, but you got over it within a day. Because Pastor Paul said he went through like a depression, huh?
Oh, yeah.
He got the true grace that he understood gospel.
Yeah.
I'm nothing. I cannot do anything. And then gave him a depression, actually.
Maybe I went through that when I was sick because I felt like I was like really at the like one of the lowest points
Yeah,
of
bottom,
my life.
you know?
Bottom. And
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't know it then, but
Yeah.
now I understand. It was
Yeah.
God just giving me that grace and holding me up. And
Yeah.
I was depressed. I was
Yeah.
so depressed. And
Good.
yeah,
So that he gave the people warning.
Yeah.
I heard that his message one time, a long time ago. Okay, you guys, when you start getting grace, real grace,
Yeah.
you'll go through this stage.
Yeah.
But that's how God is working.
That's how God's working. Yeah.
So empty out our stuff,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
then He want to put His stuff inside.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great.
That's
That's a
what,
great example. Yeah.
yeah.
Because He can't fill us up if we still have all of our
Yes.
stuff in there, right? Like,
So, because we know the gospel, we are nothing, but that does not mean we don't do anything. But
Yeah.
the God within us, He is directing us. So one of them was
Yeah.
this morning I woke up and I went to that Google and then find a picture of the
I
sandbar.
know, that's awesome.
And then prompted, you need to change this one. Whenever you open
Open your
this,
phone. You're gonna
phone.
see it. Yeah.
see it.
What?
It's a 24/7.
Send this picture to me. I'm gonna change my screen to this too.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So now you have two people that are looking at that.
Look at this.
Yes.
Oh,
That's beautiful, man.
I want to have this one.
Yes, that's awesome.
And then if we have the convention group, 1,000 people,
Yeah.
that we can do morning time 200, afternoon time 400.
Yes,
We can
that's
do
so far. Oh my goodness. Woo.
someday we can buy our own
Yeah.
with the 500 people. we
Yes,
can,
definitely. I saw Wilbur's big
Bus.
55 passenger
Yeah, bus.
voice super
Yeah.
transit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's an older bus, but it's still,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
upscaling.
yeah. So, okay, don't be too excited. Just let God work through
Yes.
us, and then we just step by step.
Step by step, yeah.
Okay, thank you, our Christian
Thank you.
friends.
Thank you, Ohana.
You know, God has a lot of blessing for us
Yes.
by understanding difference between gospel and religion.
Yes.
This is, will be a real blessing. I want you to testify that the devil
Yes.
wants to use this strategy, the religious
Absolutely.
part.
Yeah.
He's letting people know religion part is the best way to serve God, but that's destruction of our soul.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
we need to find the gospel,
Yes.
like a second
Amen.
son, like the story of Joseph sold to Egypt. We don't do anything, but
Yeah.
God needs to work through us through His grace. Okay.
So powerful.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yay! Awesome.
Thank you, Jason.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor Paul.
All right. A lot of great things will
Aloha.
happen.
Take care, guys.
Okay.